Walsh, Joe Lisi.
They put they put us in the nut house.
Here we go.
How many hours to kick off?
1.
I wish.
When are you watching? Right, I'll give you a band anywhere from 72 to not that many. Listen, what do you like in this game here? Give me a pick.
You want a pick?
Come out the gates.
How about the over? How about we go with the over?
Let me
How
see.
about points of plenty? You want a band? How about my band is anywhere from 50 to 65? How about that band? Huh?
Not bad. We've been talking some alt totals throughout the week.
A lot of wheels out there, I'll say that. Been scrolling social media. Everybody's a guru. Everybody's a wheel.
I'll say
they got it all figured out.
Ear to the ground.
Yeah.
Ear to the ground.
You don't use a cup?
No.
Oh,
no.
okay.
You should raw dog it.
Okay.
I hear way more about this under than this over.
Really?
That's what I'm hearing.
Wow. And we talked about
Sharks are circling.
That's it. Blood in the water. Jaws 2, 3, and 5. We skipped 4 and 1. That's I love it. I think we're gonna have points of plenty.
This
a lot
total,
of people
though, still really sitting 45 and a half.
Yeah, it's a Super Bowl feeling out process. A lot of people, I think, are gonna say that New England may, with Drake May, be a little conservative.
Mm-hmm.
I say they take the governor off. I think they got to push a little bit of tempo. I think they need this kid in a rhythm early.
You think he throws 2 touchdowns?
Yeah, I think that's.
Add it to my card, plus 130.
Right.
Love Drake May over the 1.5. Love Drake May over the 1.5.
Okay, all right. Listen,
Drake May.
I need him. He's got to help. It can't be a one-man show.
Well,
I need Drake May to contribute if you're backing the over. Yeah, it's just the bottom line.
Oh, he's going to have to do a lot more than contribute. You and this whole Seattle starts at 24.
Again,
really.
I don't know. I think if you could go back on the tape and listen to every word I said, I never said where Seattle starts at 24. I think they can get easily to 24. But I didn't. Where did I say? Oh, maybe I did. They're gonna get 24 or bust.
Well, I guess to be fair, I might
35-24 is my final score.
Whoa,
59.
Whoa.
I told you that.
Give it a. Hold on.
35-24 Seattle.
Hold on a sec. All right, so let's really, because we have time to change these final scores, so I'm going to be chipping away at changing that score. 35 for Seattle?
Yeah, again with this, why?
Really? I mean, you're
I don't know. Is Teddy Bruschi walking out there that I don't know?
Is Josh Allen on the other side of the field?
I don't know.
Who's playing quarterback for Seattle?
Sam Darnold.
Sam? Okay.
That's what they call him in New York. I keep telling you. They didn't know it was Darnold. They used to go, Sam Darnold? Sam Darnold?
I don't know if that entirely happened. That's all right. How many times do you think that this Patriots defense has given up more than 30 points on the year? 20 games they've played.
One was to Josh.
Okay.
Did Baker get there? He got high 20s.
23.
Yeah, but they put up 35.
No, is the answer.
The answer is no.
The answer is no. So it's happened once where they gave up more than 30.
You the game, Josh Allen.
And it was, which, great by you, but it's become abundantly clear throughout this week.
Yeah.
And this is what I have to do as the secret Bills guy that I am. The secret Josh Allen guy that I am.
Oh, your secret?
No, because people think they're like, hey, you're against Josh Allen. What they realize is I'm actually just trying to swat away those who allow this negativity to creep in by doing too much to prop him up.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone keeps thinking Sam Darnold is Josh Allen. That's what I'm seeing.
No, come on. Stop. They're not saying that. What they're saying is
35.
But that I don't understand. What you're saying is you still haven't seen enough, and you're not putting any weight that Seattle has potentially best wide receiver, best player on the field. Now, we talked about this matchup, Christian Gonzalez versus JSN. It's going to be a war.
Yep. Who's
going to win? Ultimately, you can make the argument we'll win this matchup and potentially cover.
Yep.
Right? Okay. But, I mean, JSN has been as good, like Jerry Rice, basically, over the last month and a half of the season. Every game, I mean, he's 100 yards.
Yeah, Jay, he's incredible.
Okay.
But Jackson Smith and Jigba he had a game this year where he had 124 yards and they scored 13 points. I don't think that's not the corollary for me. He had a game where he had 113. They scored 18 points. So I don't know. I think he's allowed to have 100 yards and this team not score 35.
I disagree. I think the way...
So you got JSN scoring 2 touchdowns?
No.
1 touchdown?
I don't want JSN to score. He can have his yards. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are some parlays where I did throw in the chalk. But I'm looking for all second. Give me the big, the Bobos, the Kyle Williams, the Cam Akers.
Bobo.
Cam Akers, 18-1. Give me those guys. What?
The love for the Seattle offense is overwhelming.
All I've been hearing is Drake May this, Drake May that on the show. From you.
Right. But when we bring people in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Have you feel we brought in a copious amount of folks who have told you that Drake May is going to have this monster game?
No, and we talked about that too, that everybody that picks New England with the spread, the 4.5, ultimately thinks it's going to be a lower scoring game. And that's what I told you. I disagree.
Right.
I think both teams can eat. But I just think that the way Seattle's playing right now in the passing attack, I feel more confident with Darnold than I do May. But I'm still not, again, I keep saying this, I'm not tacking May at 88 yards, no touchdowns, and a pick. I have May 230, 240. He's going to eat.
Right. See, again, of course he is. Right? To me, the guy who just finished second in MVP.
All right, with the MVP.
Narrowly. Oh, you know what? You're right. That doesn't matter. It's what did you do literally in your last game? That's all that matters. And Sam Darnold in his last game had his best game, so that's just what he's going to obviously do again. Right?
No. I said to you, the difference between Darnold this year and Darnold last year is that when he was bad, he imploded.
Yeah.
And this year, when he has faced adversity, right?
Oh, I'm not going to agree with this at all.
All right, so this will be a healthy debate. This is what we do on this desk.
Yep.
When he had the 4-interception performance and they lost that game 21-19 to the Rams in L.A., did he not still battle back and put his team in a position to potentially steal that game? Yes or no?
Well, yeah, but there's a lot of stuff that happened. I just
want to know.
He went interception, punt, and then threw a back-breaking interception, and then Shaheed saved the day. So he started to once again go inside himself.
No. I'm talking about the 21-19 game.
It was horrific. He was literally awful.
Right, but he still put his team in a position. He was bad.
Barely.
All right, but
he threw 4 interceptions.
Okay,
I'm sorry. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said about Sam Darnold.
Can I continue?
Threw 4 interceptions.
Then the second half, second half of the LA game.
Wow.
He
must be nice.
He pulls it out.
Must be nice.
Can I?
No, really, it is. It's got to be nice.
You see, this is it. Disagree with Kev, and you're not going to. He put his team in a position, right, down double digits, and they won the game, and he led the game-tying drive, and he led the game-winning drive at home on that prime time, and then he outduels Matt Stafford flawlessly. So that is the difference. He's battle-tested this year. Right. He stepped up. Drake May started like a Ferrari.
Yeah.
Drake May, next thing of Tom Brady. Here we go, second coming. And then all of a sudden, the training wheels fell off in the playoffs. We don't know who we're getting. I don't know if he's consistent. The only person that thinks that Drake May is consistent is you. I still think he can get over his total.
Yep.
But if we're talking both quarterbacks, give me Sam Darnold.
Yeah, no, listen, hey, and this is what I always say. When one quarterback finished top 2 in MVP and the other led the league in turnovers, you got to take the guy that led the league in turnovers. This is going to be so fun.
When LeBron.
Oh, you better watch it. You better watch it. We're going out to San Fran next.
Saturday, February 7th, Conor McGregor will be in the building for Knuckle Mania 6. In the main event, heavyweights collide as champ Ben Rothwell defends against Andrei Arlovski. In the co-main event, we find out who's the #1 pound-for-pound bare-knuckle fighter in the world. It's Lorenzo the Juggernaut Hunt versus Dave Redneck Mundell. Plus, a heated rematch ignites as Tony Loco Soto runs it back with Ben the Bomber Bonner. And the women bring pure intensity as Jade Massam Wong faces Crystal the Rugged Beauty Pittman. For how to watch live, go to bkfc.com for more info.
How about selling it to a minority ownership group that could show the NFL is moving in the right direction? Hey, it's one thing to talk about black coaches in the National Football League. It's one thing to talk about black general managers. It's another thing to start talking about a minority owner owning the football team.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio. Only on SportsGrid.
Gosh, I really do like the storylines with these open field events. Like I want us to expand these signature events to bigger fields because I really do like the Joel Damon story, the Andrew Putnam story. It's part of the PGA Tour and what makes it so good. So I don't know where they're going to eventually end up on all of this.
The Smiley Show. Only on SportsGrid.
They cheated.
No, they're not saying
Right?
that. Well, they're not, but they're not really giving a reason on Kraft.
The only two of the voters I've seen, maybe it's more, came out and said why they didn't vote for him. And they said, I'm limited to 3 votes.
Yeah.
And I will always pick a player over a coach or an owner.
Right.
By the way, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because that's the guy saying, I'm not afraid of you knowing who I picked. I'm going to tell you why I picked him.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
Pro football today on SportsGrid. Kevin Walsh and Joe Lisi. We make the move out to San Francisco, where our guy, Sweatpants Jesus, is hanging in the mix. SPJ, what is going on, man? How's San Francisco treating you?
Just absolutely incredible, man. I came from Nashville to fly here earlier this week, obviously with the ice storms and everything. Got off the plane, 60 degrees, sunshine, and that Super Bowl Christmas in the air. So it's been a fantastic week. Obviously very busy here. We've been doing a lot of interviews, lots of incredible content that we've been putting together. It's been a madhouse, as you know, here on Media Row, but it's been a hell of a time, and it's only going to continue as we get closer and closer to, Super Bowl 60 on Sunday.
Now, SPJ, I want to just get an idea with out there, all the people that you've spoke to. Have you started to get a sense of what people are – what the popular side in this game, or even the total? Are you hearing a ton of Seattle, a ton of over? What are you guys hearing?
My mother, my grandmother, every single person in this building, maybe some people outside are all on the Seahawks. So it's literally Seahawks. I know the money dropped today too with the 70% handle as well. So seems like the world's in the same thing, but that's the same thing here in San Francisco. Everybody we've been talking to kind of leans with the Hawks here. I don't know if that's Patriot hatred maybe, or if it's just the fact of where they think that this is the better football team top to bottom. But, don't count out the Patriots here. I personally don't really have a dog in the hunt specifically. I kind of think that the Seahawks might get the job done. The 4.5 is a little bit of a tough number for me. But yeah, from what we've been speaking to with some guests that we've had on the show, we talked to Sean Alexander, a Seahawks great Hall of Famer, MVP, and what's he going to say, right? I like the Patriots. However, it was interesting talking to Sean. He's a big Drake May guy. So it was like talking with him, listening to him talk about his relationship with Drake May. And you could see the sparkle in his eye kind of talking about the young stud quarterback. But his heart will always go with the Seahawks. So even guests we've had, even just walking around, getting the vibe from people here, even though there's a little bit of we're in that vicinity, even though it's 49er Nation here in San Francisco, it seems like Seahawks are getting all the love.
So, SPJ, you talked to Baker, right? So I'm curious about what Baker thought about both quarterbacks. Darnold, obviously he went up against Darnold, did give them the loss 38-35. Did he break down the quarterback perspective?
Yeah, Kaufman asked him a little bit about his relationship with Sam Darnold. He had a really awesome things to say about Sam, first name basis, as they've been teammates in certain situations, very similar track in the NFL, obviously, in their path. But he kind of didn't really go super deep into what he was expecting from both of these guys, but he's expecting an incredible game between two guys that have never been on this stage before. We're going to see a guy second year in the league, and Drake May obviously just came up a vote short yesterday in the MVP voting. I heard you guys kind of chatting about that a little bit. I'll let you guys yell about that in a minute a little more. But yeah, and he obviously has a lot of love for Sam and what he's been able to do. Obviously, Minnesota last year coming in and doing the same kind of stuff in Seattle. For me, looking at the Seattle situation with Sam Darnold, like my biggest thing that I'm looking forward to on Sunday is what both of these quarterbacks are going to come to the table with. This is the biggest stage in all of sports. This is the biggest game of both of their careers, young for May and a little bit further down the line for Darnold. But I know that's kind of a little bit like not really incredible analysis, but I'm fascinated to see which one of these guys is going to rise to the occasion, or if it's going to be the defenses that are kind of the ones that are shining at the party. But I think Sam Darnold and Drake May are going to have to put their best foot forward in this game. And I think that Sam Darnold isn't going to be in a situation where I don't know about you guys, but watching him in the NFC Championship game, before that, I don't think I would have had the confidence to say this guy can go win a Super Bowl. But what he did in the NFC Championship game, how he carried that football team, because there's been stretches of the season he's had those bad interception games. He's had he has not had spectacular experiences. He's kind of like fallen when the lights are the brightest. But in that game, he outdueled Matthew Stafford. He was the reason why the Seattle Seahawks won that game. And to see him do that on that stage in the biggest game in his career at that point makes me feel confident going into the biggest game of his career that maybe Darnold's got the stuff, man. We're going to find out.
Yeah, we certainly are, SPJ, but I know it's been busy out there. How much of a card have you been able to build for Super Bowl 60? How many bets have you already been able to place on this game? I know you had a few last time we spoke last week.
Yeah, to be honest with you, and this is like maybe not great advertising, I don't really like betting the Super Bowl that much. I like talking about it. I like kind of getting involved with it and maybe doing some here and there betting. But for me, it's just such a massive game. The spreads are so sharp. The lines are so sharp because it is the biggest sporting event of the year. Not a massive fan of betting it myself. Lean very heavily with the Seattle Seahawks. I talked to you about this when we talked last week, Kevin, that I have a bet that is for either a defensive touchdown or a special teams touchdown. I think both of those units have a chance to have a quick turnover, maybe a scoop and score situation. Maybe somebody gets in the backfield. Drake May, with what we've seen with his fumbling problems in the playoffs. Maybe Sam Darnold does throw one of those bad interceptions and it's a pick six. I got plus 200 on that before I left Nashville earlier this week. But I also bet the Patriots before the Broncos game at plus 240 to win the Super Bowl. I thought that'd be the best price available at that point to have some skin on the Pats side of things. So I'm kind of riding that ticket. But sitting here looking at the game itself, I just feel like the Seattle Seahawks are the more deep team. I feel like they're the better team. So the card's not super deep for me. I've been very busy out here trying to just get as many interviews and content as possible. But I do have a little bit of skin in the game, hoping that we just get a pick six or maybe Rashid Shaheed runs back the first kickoff, and then I cash my bet to start it off.
Yeah, SPJ, listen, man, it's going to be fun. Don't worry. We'll handle then all the betting for the Super Bowl stuff.
Yeah, you guys can do that.
Just before we let you go, we appreciate it. Just remind people where they can check a lot of the stuff that you, Adam, and Danny have been doing out there this week in San Francisco.
Absolutely. I know there's going to be some hits for you guys here on SportsGrid of some clips from the interviews that we've done. Like I said, we talked to Sean Alexander, Terrell Davis. We've had incredible interviews that are all across the network. We're also going to be on our network, the Betting News Network. You can go check out our YouTube at Your Betting News on YouTube. You can watch the full-length interviews. Danny actually just did an interview with Kyle Long, Bears Great. That's going to be up a little bit later today. So there's going to be a lot of content over there. I know you guys are going to be rolling some here on SportsGrid too. So, go check them out. It was really cool to sit down with some of these guys because – they go through so many interviews and talk through so many things. And, some of them didn't even want to talk about the game specifically. Some of them just wanted to talk about ball, talk about seasons, talk about what they've experienced previously, their relationships with some of the players and things like that. So, my favorite of all the interviews that we did, not a football one specifically, I got to sit down with the UFC champ, Henry Cejudo. Which I'm a big UFC guy. It was awesome to sit down with him. I mean, I'm 6'5", and sitting next to him, I was looking at my eye, and we stood up and took a picture, and I was like, "What's up, dude? How's it going?"
Big dog Cejudo.
Hands of granite. Man. He's got hands of granite.
Yeah, I mean, he was pumping them up there too, man. But there's some great stuff on there. Go check it out on YouTube, like I said, at Your Betting News, and I'm sure you guys are gonna be running some stuff here on SportsGrid too.
Yeah, absolutely, we will. SPJ live out there in San Francisco, getting ready for Super Bowl 60 between the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks. It is going to be a lot of fun, and again, they've been doing some great work, so make sure you check out everything that they have been doing. Lisi and I are going to take a peek at that Anytime Touchdown market after the break here on SportsGrid.
Saturday, February 7th, Conor McGregor will be in the building for Knuckle Mania 6. In the main event, heavyweights collide as champ Ben Rothwell defends against Andrei Volsky. In the co-main event, we find out who's the #1 pound-for-pound bare-knuckle fighter in the world. It's Lorenzo the Juggernaut Hunt versus Dave Redneck Mundell. Plus, a heated rematch ignites as Tony Loco Soto runs it back with Ben the Bomber Bonner. And the women bring pure intensity as Jade Massam Wong faces Crystal the Rugged Beauty Pittman. For how to watch live, go to bkfc.com for more info.
How about selling it to a minority ownership group that could show the NFL is moving in the right direction? Hey, it's one thing to talk about black coaches in the National Football League. It's one thing to talk about black general managers. It's another thing to start talking about a minority owner owning the football team.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio. Only on SportsGrid.
Gosh, I really do like the storylines with these open field events. Like, I want us to expand these signature events to bigger fields, because I really do like the Joel Damon story, the Andrew Putnam story. It's part of the PGA Tour and what makes it so good. So I don't know where they're going to eventually end up on all of this.
The Smiley Show. Only on SportsGrid.
They cheated.
No, they're not saying
Right?
that. Well, they're not, but they're not really giving a reason on crap.
The only two of the voters I've seen, maybe it's more, came out and said why they didn't vote for him. And they said, I'm limited to 3 votes.
Yeah.
And I will always pick a player over a coach or an owner.
Right.
By the way, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because that's the guy saying, I'm not afraid of you knowing who I picked. I'm going to tell you why I picked him.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
Cooper Kupp, anytime touchdown.
No shot.
Really?
Yeah. You want to start?
Really?
Yeah, we've been here way too long. As this is played out, you know, I'm just going to start to Billy Club everything you like this week. That's it. No shot.
Hold on a second. All right.
Cooper's Cup.
Let's dance then for a second, shall we?
Sure.
Kenneth Walker. Does he make your card or no?
You know, I hate taking. We had some wind in the studio. Apologize. It's been Arctic freeze coming through the Northeast. I don't like taking chalk, that chalky with Kenneth Walker and even Stevenson on both sides. I personally believe, and I like to get the, I like to take the pass catchers.
All right, so Walker, Stevenson are out.
For me, yeah.
JSN,
he's
out.
No, I'm not going to bet
out?
him. He's not out. I think it's a viable option when the guy gets that many targets and how they look to get him free in the red zone. It's not a bad look.
We'll go into tiers, all right? So of Walker, JSN, Stevenson, you would be most interested in JSN.
Correct.
I would be most interested in Stevenson of that bunch. I think that would be the most interesting.
No, it doesn't shock me.
Screen pass.
Right.
You know.
Thankfully, you're not on the Hall of Fame committee because you'd have him in next year based off.
I mean, quite frankly, would it be any more of a disgrace than not letting in Big Bill Belichick?
Probably not.
Okay, next tier.
Dad.
Barner, Diggs, Henry, Cup, May. What do you like?
Barner.
Come on.
What? Why not?
You don't like Barner.
I do like Barner.
Do you?
Yes.
I have no interest in Barner.
Oh, you just made the card
Go
for
ahead.
me. Barner.
I'll be honest with you. I don't like Barner one bit.
Okay, I like Barner.
I'm not interested in Barner.
Okay, fine.
So you like Barner?
Yes.
Doesn't do it for me.
Okay, go to the next tier.
Okay. No, I'm not going to the next tier. I think Diggs can get there. I prefer Hunter Henry. I think Henry's
I like
very
Henry
live
too.
skiller
Plus
in this
240.
game. 250. Look around.
Look around. Shop around 10 cents, 20 cents. He's in the area of plus 250, depending upon
I like
the books.
Cooper Kupp as well. I think Cooper Kupp's very live to score.
Look,
multiple Super Bowl touchdowns under his belt. Because I'm not as in on JSN scoring. Both of these teams, by the way, far more passing than rushing touchdowns allowed. So I would expect more through the air.
Plus the front sevens of how good both front sevens are, and they've been stuffed Denver, stuffed, obviously, Kyron, and think about how L.A. scored. It was Kyron, but it was in the passing game, and they threw him a swing pass, remember? Mm-hmm. Kyron didn't get there between the tackles, neither did Blake.
Right.
So
May, I don't like.
I can't do May again. Unless, hey, maybe he gets there. I'm betting against it just because, look, he would need a running like they'd have to be playing man inside the 10-yard line. And
I'll just say this: if I were to play May anytime, I would go greedy and parlay it with him to throw to. That's if I were to do it. That I would be more, or I would play the total touchdown market.
Okay.
Which we've talked about, the
2.5,
the 3. You can play. You can get two like a last look minus 118. Like
okay.
But I agree with you. Next grouping: Kayshawn Boutte plus 330, Shaheed 370. Let's throw these other Mac Hollins, Trevion Henderson.
I like that. I like Henderson.
Seattle defense, Halani.
I like Henderson. I saw him as high as he was as high as plus 500, but he's plus 470 last time I checked.
Yeah, at one book.
All right, one book. I like Boutte. I like both of those guys. I think one of those guys does, in fact, hit pay dirt on Sunday.
You're not interested in Hollins too much. He's a little outside the range.
You know why? Because I was on him in the championship game.
Okay.
And I was happy to get that at 51. I had him for 50.
Yeah.
And he just got there. But I wasn't too excited how we got there. He had the one big catch, and I'm like,
Okay, that's interesting. This isn't a
put it this way. I was on Shaheed too, and I wasn't happy.
I don't love
I got
this
that by
tier.
a yard. I had Shaheed for 50 and Hollins for 50. They both got 51, and I felt like it was on two plays.
Yeah, I don't love this tier. I will also say there is a price gap. I do not care. I will never, ever, ever, ever bet a defensive touchdown on FanDuel. I'm not doing it. I take the special teams with it on other books. So just with that, be careful.
Okay.
Let me sneak in the other under 10 to 1s. Douglas, Hooper, Pat's defense / special teams is interesting to me. But no Douglas, no Hooper, no Halani.
I sort of like a Hooper a little.
I hate it, actually.
If you like Henry,
I should probably.
You have to. You have to, Kev.
Okay, you might have sold me on that.
Hooper.
Let's talk to our guy Matt Fontana after the break. Get some picks from him.
Saturday, February 7th, Conor McGregor will be in the building for Knuckle Mania 6. In the main event, heavyweights collide as champ Ben Rothwell defends against Andrei Volsky. In the co-main event, we find out who's the #1 pound-for-pound bare-knuckle fighter in the world. It's Lorenzo the Juggernaut Hunt versus Dave Redneck Mundell. Plus, a heated rematch ignites as Tony Loco Soto runs it back with Ben the Bomber Bonner. And the women bring pure intensity as Jade Massam Wong faces Crystal the Rugged Beauty Pittman. For how to watch live, go to bkfc.com for more info.
How about selling it to a minority ownership group that could show the NFL is moving in the right direction? Hey, it's one thing to talk about black coaches in the National Football League. It's one thing to talk about black general managers. It's another thing to start talking about a minority owner owning the football team.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio. Only on SportsGrid.
Gosh, I really do like the storylines with these open field events. Like I want us to expand these signature events to bigger fields because I really do like the Joel Damon story, the Andrew Putnam story. It's part of the PGA Tour and what makes it so good. So I don't know where they're going to eventually end up on all of this.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
They cheated.
No, they're not saying
Right?
that. Well, they're not, but they're not really giving a reason on crap.
The only two of the voters I've seen, maybe it's more, came out and said why they didn't vote for him. And they said, I'm limited to 3 votes.
Yeah.
And I will always pick a player over a coach or an owner.
Right.
By the way, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because that's the guy saying, I'm not afraid of you knowing who I picked. I'm going to tell you why I picked him.
The Craig Carton Show. only on SportsGrid.
Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Kevin Walsh and Joe Lisi. Now joined by our guy, Matt Fontana, who does an excellent job covering all things Cleveland sports. And Super Bowl Cleveland sports, I'm not going to make the joke. That's about as far as I'll go with it. But the one thing that Matt does is I feel occasionally kind of slip in little things that let me know he is a better. I know he can't wait for some Jose Ramirez, Steven Kwan run scored parlays a little bit later on in the baseball season. But Matt, give me an idea. Have you already placed some, or are there some things you're looking at to bet for Super Bowl 60?
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, I'm really hot on the Blue Jackets right now on the hockey side. Like I'm a big Blue Jackets fan, and they're 10-1 under Rick Bowness, so that's easy 3-leg parlays. Just do Zach Rowinski 2 shots. Kent Johnson 1 shot, Jackets win or minus a puck and a half on the puck line, and we're doing all right this week on that. Don't ask me about my Cavs parlays, but yeah, for the game, you know, I'm excited for Sunday because I think as a lot of people are looking at the defenses and just, you know, how good they are and kind of expecting some shutdowns and all right, what are you going to do? Both quarterbacks battling different injuries. I know they're off their injury report and things like that, but you know, these are also offenses that can put up a lot of points. So I think one of my favorite ones was some of the, I don't want to say alternative, but like one of them was 50 yards in each half for Stephon Diggs and Jackson Smith-Njigba, or 25 yards in each half for Ramondre Stevenson and Kenneth Walker. I parlayed a bigger one, too, to kind of throw that in because I'm interested to see how that goes. I really like Hunter Henry as a sneaky anytime touchdown in this one. And I'm also going to put a little bit on Drake May to score a touchdown using his legs. And a lot of people are thinking about his running props. If the shoulders bother him, is he going to run a lot? I could see him trying to sneak one in down there as well. So, yeah, I'm really excited. Like, obviously, it's the big game everybody looks forward to. But I think there's going to be more points. Like, you know, that 45.5, like, that's right about where I would have put it. And I think, obviously, if everybody's watching the game for entertainment, I'm going to take the over as well.
So, Matt, I do still want to ask you a couple of things, though, with Cleveland football. We got the official word that Jim Schwartz was going to hand in the resignation, which didn't come as too much of a surprise. But with that news kind of finalized now, where does it land for you?
I mean, I would say it's what I expected. I think it's what the Browns probably expected, and I'm assuming very much that Todd Monken, as soon as he got announced, was already working on who his DC might be. Like, it's one of those things. I'm going to do the work, and if Jim Schwartz comes back, great, but odds were telling you he was not going to come back. I mean, I think at this point for Jim Schwartz, at 59, this might have been his last shot at being a head coach. He felt like he was strong in the position to do it. Half the team defense really loved him. They respected him a lot. He didn't get the job. I wouldn't stick around either. And I know people, oh, he's under contract. That's never stopped anybody ever. You know, like they will, obviously he resigned. You know, I don't think I think it'd just be bad PR on the Browns side of things to really kind of hold things up. It sounds like he's just going to take the year off because all the other jobs are pretty much, you know, scooped up. But it was no shock, and I think Todd Monken really no shock, and it's probably better for Todd Monken. Clean it out. This is Todd Monken's team now, and everybody can kind of move forward.
So what is still the most interesting element, I think at least, of Schwartz moving on, Matt, is what it means for Myles Garrett. But I guess the question, and this is something that Joe and I keep debating, so I want to get your thoughts on it, is I would be okay with Cleveland moving on from Myles Garrett. Easier to say for me, right? It's not my franchise. It's not, maybe the best player, or one of the best players, I should say, in the history of the Browns, right? Where would you land on the idea of Cleveland willingly or acquiescing if it was a trade request from the reigning now defensive player of the year?
I said they should have traded him when he asked for the trade request. Literally, it was a year ago yesterday or a year ago Wednesday. He asked for it, and I said they should have traded him then. This is the fallout from Deshaun Watson. It was going to take you 3 years, probably 4, and really 5 to dig out of this hole. Myles Garrett's not getting any younger. He is in the prime of his career. And I know he came back and he signed that long-term extension and highest paid defensive player, non-quarterback in NFL history and all that. But I think there's going to be a point that it doesn't matter. I argue with so many people about this, guys, when he first made the request, and they go, well, they'll pay him. And I go, look at Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley left a destitute franchise and in his first year won a Super Bowl. All these other star players are going to look around and go, yeah, the money's not worth it. To waste my career, you're already going to make a ton of money. It doesn't matter where you go. You might as well sacrifice some of that and go win a championship. Like, I'm legitimately floored that Miles signed that extension and came back to the Browns, and the Browns didn't trade him. I'd have done it last year. Now, that being said, yes, he is single-handedly really won games for the Browns, which is crazy to say as a defensive player. That's how good he is. And it would rock the franchise. The fan base would be so upset. But I think there's a lot of merit to thinking about it, because if you'd just done it, you had the extra draft ammo, you could do the rebuild right. Trying to keep him around the Browns, he honestly might not be here by the time the Browns are relevant, just because he might be retired at that point by the Browns finally turning it around.
That's a great point, Matt. And you brought up Deshaun Watson. Every time I look on social media, he's in another country vacationing. Is he coming back? And is Shedeur Sanders, in fact, the guy for this organization, at least in 2026?
I expect Watson back just from a money standpoint. There's really no incentive for them to cut him again. They have to eat the cap space. They'll have to do it again when they kind of re-roll the money back over and all that. But I do expect Shedeur Sanders to be number one into the offseason. I don't think the Browns are going to draft a quarterback. I don't think they're going to go the Mac Jones, Kirk Cousins type of route. I think Todd Monken partly was brought in here to try to develop Shedeur Sanders. Now, I'm extremely skeptical that that's going to happen, but I'm fine with him starting the season or starting the offseason as the number one. And then, much as I don't want to say it, if it goes bad, then you just turn it over to Deshaun Watson and see what he's got left in the tank. Like, nobody expects the Browns to be able to compete very much next year anyway. So I'd roll with Shedeur. You still have Dylan Gabriel. I know people are trying to pin that on Kevin Stefanski. He's not here, so maybe Gabriel won't be here. I don't know. But yeah, I totally expect Deshaun Watson to be here. But I do think Shedeur Sanders should be at least the number one quarterback entering the offseason.
And one more thing, Quinshon Judkins, is he on schedule to at least be ready for week one or middle part of the season?
Yeah, we haven't had really any updates. Somebody said they saw him still in a walking boot this week, but because he had two injuries, he dislocated his ankle and he broke his leg on that play. But at that point, the doctor said he should be ready to go for training camp. We haven't really heard anything else, so fingers crossed on that. We hope so.
With Matt, just lastly on the Browns of it all, right? And I don't know, this might sound a bit silly, and maybe I'm creating something a little bit, but the Todd Monken hire obviously was a surprise. It turns out that was also a major surprise to the Giants, who clearly had no backup plan in place for Monken getting the job. I have read that as Harbaugh didn't want to have one because of his belief in Monken. Have you taken away anything, and maybe you disagree with the evaluation, of just the fact that the Giants they ended up having to go to Matt Nagy, and all the Giants beat reporters are like, hey, I know this stinks, but they'll fire him if he's bad.
And I think it's crazy because Monken's taking assistant coaches now too. There was assistant coaches that were supposed to follow him to the Giants, and now they're coming to Cleveland, so they're kind of scrambling on that. Yeah, I think 100% Harbaugh what does that say about Todd Monken? Like, Harbaugh really didn't believe he was going to get the job. And he's like, yep, just come join me over here at the Giants. And he got it. So, yeah, probably, I don't know many people that would have more insight to the NFL than John Harbaugh, and he misread that. So, yeah, the shock was certainly there. I mean, once I take a step back, offensive-minded guy and a veteran coach, I think that's really what the Browns wanted. And especially, I was at the instructor press conference on Tuesday. Guys, it was made clear and apparent that one of the best things about Todd Monken, he wasn't Kevin Stefanski. So there's why he's the head coach of the Cleveland Browns.
Matt Fontana, host of the Matt Fontana Show, does an excellent job covering all things Cleveland sports, and I know he is ready to bet Super Bowl 60, as are we, so we get back into the anytime touchdown market after a quick break here on SportsGrid.
Saturday, February 7th, Conor McGregor will be in the building for Knuckle Mania 6. In the main event, heavyweights collide as champ Ben Rothwell defends against Walsh. In the co-main event, we find out who's the number one pound-for-pound bare-knuckle fighter in the world. It's Lorenzo the Juggernaut Hunt versus Dave Redneck Mundell. Plus, a heated rematch ignites as Tony Loco Soto runs it back with Ben the Bomber Bonner. And the women bring pure intensity as Jade Massam Wong faces Crystal the Rugged Beauty Pittman. For how to watch live, go to bkfc.com for more info.
How about selling it to a minority ownership group that could show the NFL is moving in the right direction? Hey, it's one thing to talk about black coaches in the National Football League. It's one thing to talk about black general managers. It's another thing to start talking about a minority owner owning the football team.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio. Only on SportsGrid.
Gosh, I really do like the storylines with these open field events. Like I want us to expand these signature events to bigger fields because I really do like the Joel Damon story, the Andrew Putnam story. It's part of the PGA Tour and what makes it so good. So I don't know where they're going to eventually end up on all of this.
The Smiley Show. Only on SportsGrid.
They cheated.
No, they're not saying that. Well, they're not, but they're not really giving a reason on Kraft.
The only two of the voters I've seen, maybe it's more, came out and said why they didn't vote for him. And they said, I'm limited to 3 votes.
Yeah.
And I will always pick a player over a coach or an owner.
Right.
By the way, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because that's the guy saying, I'm not afraid of you knowing who I picked. I'm going to tell you why I picked him.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
Pro football today here on SportsGrid, diving into the anytime touchdown market, just seeing how far down the board we're willing to go, kind of that 10-1 range, give or take. Darnold, Kai Williams, Jake Bobo, Jack Westover. This is where you hang out, which is this, right?
What?
How far down the board are you willing to go?
You know where I am. I mean, I haven't pulled the trigger on Akers yet, but I've been having more and more premonitions that this guy's going to get more burn. I read just so you know, I do my own research. I went back to the game with L.A.
Okay.
And was reading multiple reports and from the local reporters.
Yeah.
That said him and Holani had specific packages in that game.
Okay.
And I just find it ironic that they would put that out and then not utilize them, right? But now with 2 weeks of preparation, I'm more inclined to think that they do utilize them in this type of situation.
Mm-hmm.
And again, Kev, we're not talking for this guy to run for 100 yards.
No.
1 yard, you get 2 to 1.
I understand.
I mean, just give him some burn. Give this guy some burn.
I will say.
I want to dive over that. Give me the ball for Cam. I'll get that yard.
You'll die for this guy. That's your man. That's your man the whole way.
This guy is like, this might be I can't believe I'm saying this. I can't parlay. I look for him for 10 on FanDuel. No, they have him for a yard at 2 to 1. But if you could get 1, you could get 10.
Can I ask you, though, because we've been putting Akers, I think rightfully, side by side with Holani. What do you expect from Kenneth Walker in this game?
I told you, it wouldn't shock me if Kenneth Walker is anywhere from 15 to 20.
Carries.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could see a world where, as well, I could see a world where he gets 11 carries because it's Darnold, and the attack. It wouldn't shock. Kev, I think early on it wouldn't shock me. I told you, I think Seattle could be has the benefit of being or trying to run the football early, right? And seeing if they have success with Walker the way they did against L.A. I do not feel that New England could do that. And I told you why. We talk about the likelihood of that happening.
Yep.
28 teams over the past couple of years have tried to establish the run.
Mm-hmm.
In the biggest game of their life now, I don't think you're going to be able to start the game that way.
Right.
So I think New England needs to be more aggressive, where Kenneth Walker could have success early on like he did against the Rams, and then all of a sudden, game on.
So my thing with Walker is...
My ban would be like 11 to 22. I don't think he gets 23-plus carries in this.
I think the evidence is there that they have no interest in giving Kenneth Walker a bell cow workload.
Okay.
Whatsoever.
Okay.
Okay?
Uh-huh.
That evidence seems to be there pretty confidently. Okay. This is my thing with the Super Bowl, and some people won't like this, but at the end of the day, what's not going to happen is you just come in and you just win every bet. You just clean up. They all come in.
No?
What I mean is Walker, JSN, Stevenson, May, Darnold. Okay, so
this is like shooting fish in a barrel.
Someone who was a great Twitter. Someone was like, "I'll tell you what, man. If you didn't make money in a Rams Seahawks NFC title game, you're gonna have to delete the apps." Okay, Puka, Adams, Kyron, Walker, JS. No. Wait, I was pretending you did make money in the game and slam Terrence Ferg. My point is, here in the Super Bowl, right? I'm not saying things can't come in. I'm not saying the game can't be explosive. What I'm saying is there are going to be the Super Bowl's the Super Bowl, and people step up and they just go, bing, parlay, bing, parlay. I got 4 legs. How does this lose? Right? We know someone like, how does this lose? Oh, thanks. Was that the whole? How long did you spend on that? How long did you spend giving me that? You're telling me he doesn't get 50? Kenneth Walker, I believe, is a very talented football player.
Yes.
I think he, though, is a bit of a, call it a big house, high ceiling, low floor type of situation, right? And this is a guy who had 19 carries against the Niners and the Rams and had a 54-yard gap in those games. So you need a great script in order to get, there you go. You need a great script to get to that 19-carry mark.
Uh-huh.
But you also still need him to be efficient. And I think, Joe, the game against Carolina, where he went 15 for 51 without a touchdown, could absolutely be on the board.
Yeah.
So Walker is a guy I back away from entirely in the game because I think that you do want to run against the Patriots. The Seahawks have not had a very efficient run game this year.
So do we believe it's Helani?
So this is the other This is why we've ended up doing this all week long. Helani has had some horrific showings this year efficiency-wise. His NFL career, he's 3.3 yards a carry. I'm sorry, this isn't Boise State. What do you want from me? Maybe just give it to Akers 4 or 5 times. Run it!
I mean, should I hammer this 2-1 now? I mean, 1 yard? What happens if Walker, I'm not suggesting, tweaks something?
Right.
They're going to go the whole game with this Helani? Seriously?
What if Akers gets 20 carries? Scores a touchdown.
He's 18-1 to score. I got to take him.
That's where I think you've jumped the ship a bit.
I got to write this down.
But this is also something that then circles back into just the, it's identifying the workloads, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's also, here's the other thing that, again, like no one is ready for. No one. What if the Patriots are up 10?
Yeah.
Well, then what if Darnold has to throw the ball 30 times, 35 times, 40 times? Like, what's that going to look like? JSN 200. It's like, oh.
Barner.
Bobo. Akers in the receiving.
You get me all juiced up. I really like 35-24 as a final. Give me the over. I got a 18-1 with this Akers.
Above that?
18-1.
What is that? What is that? What is it? Akers anytime?
Yeah. I picture this kid. What's his number? Is it 22?
Oh, I mean, maybe.
I need to know.
Cam Akers week. It's almost done. We'll be right back here on SportsGrid.
30?
Saturday, February 7th, Conor McGregor will be in the building for Knuckle Mania 6. In the main event, heavyweights collide as champ Ben Rothwell defends against Walsh. In the co-main event, we find out who's the number one pound-for-pound bare-knuckle fighter in the world. It's Lorenzo the Juggernaut Hunt versus Dave Redneck Mundell. Plus, a heated rematch ignites as Tony Loco Soto runs it back with Ben the Bomber Bonner. And the women bring pure intensity as Jade Massam Wong faces Crystal the Rugged Beauty Pittman. For how to watch live, go to bkfc.com for more info.
How about selling it to a minority ownership group that could show the NFL is moving in the right direction? Hey, it's one thing to talk about black coaches in the National Football League. It's one thing to talk about black general managers. It's another thing to start talking about a minority owner owning the football team.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio. Only on SportsGrid.
Gosh, I really do like the storylines with these open field events. Like I want us to expand these signature events to bigger fields because I really do like the Joel Damon story, the Andrew Putnam story. It's part of the PGA Tour and what makes it so good. So I don't know where they're going to eventually end up on all of this.
The Smiley Show. Only on SportsGrid.
They cheated.
No, they're not saying
Right?
that. Well, they're not, but they're not really giving a reason on crap.
The only two of the voters I've seen, maybe it's more, came out and said why they didn't vote for him. And they said, I'm limited to 3 votes.
Yeah.
And I will always pick a player over a coach or an owner.
Right.
By the way, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because that's the guy saying, I'm not afraid of you knowing who I picked. I'm going to tell you why I picked him.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
Pro football today on SportsGrid. Kevin Walsh, Joe Lisi, talking through some of the options here for Super Bowl 60. Joe, we have not talked much about it, but it's a market that you're always prepared to corner.
Mm-hmm.
Gatorade color.
Love it.
Can we pull up the Gatorade color odds if you have them in the back? Because the laptops are a little wonky on getting these guys up. So yellow or lime trending at the top of the market.
Yeah, I don't like that. I mean, that's typical if you like Seattle, I guess.
Is that the thought process?
We see some movement, fluctuation, purple going for the trifecta down $1.50. It was $7.50 most of the week. We're trending at 6-1 now.
Mm-hmm.
So some money's coming in. I like purple. I think whenever you get an opportunity for a trifecta, that's always intriguing to me.
Yeah.
I think the long shot now is red pink. You were getting an 11-1 number. You've cracked double digits. You're back down to 9-1.
Yep.
So this market is heavily involved. I mean, a lot of money coming in on the Gatorade color. If you're not going to win the game, you could still win after. That's the way I like to look at it.
Can I ask you an annoying question?
You could, most are annoying, but I'm just kidding.
No, that's fair.
All right, Ken.
You ever surprised that we can bet on the Gatorade color on?
I think it's one of the most fixable things.
Like all major sports books, they're like, "Yep, Gatorade color, no problem."
Yeah, no problem.
No problem. A thing that's entirely based on gut or knowing someone. We'd love to let you in on that market. That's a little bizarre to me.
I know, but you know,
like orange.
I don't like the orange. Orange plus 290.
Right. I'll play that game with you then. I hear low. All right, so the max you can bet it for is 323 on the orange. So basically, they cap you out at winning $1,000
on the Gatorade.
But on a Gatorade, you wouldn't be upset to come away with that.
No, I hit it 2 years ago with the purple.
But
it was an 11-1 number when I think it was when Brady. It was when Brady.
I worked the Super Bowl with you once.
It was
before we were best friends.
That was the year before. That was when you went out to L.A., Cincinnati, and Joe Burrow in L.A.
Yeah.
And everybody was wearing purple.
Yep, and then there were commercials where people were wearing purple, and you were live
which just purple. Shows you.
Yeah.
I'm ahead of the curve.
Okay.
Because then 2 straight years after that, the purple's coming.
But you like red pink. I have another question for you.
Go ahead, ask away.
The Gatorade that gets dumped is the Gatorade that throughout the game they drink?
I have no idea. Not necessarily.
Like the Gatorade.
Well, like, yeah, they take one of the buckets.
Okay, all right, let's okay. Does each team only have one flavor of Gatorade on the sideline?
No.
So it's
I don't think they have a buffet. I don't think it's like Denny's where, hey.
You drink Gatorade?
Yeah.
Why do you
Arctic
say it
Ice.
like that?
Well, come on.
Why do you say it like
An
that?
athlete,
Have you ever
come on.
met yourself?
What are you talking about?
Have you ever met yourself? That, like, I would assume the answer to that would be, of course not. You drink Gatorade? Last time you had a Gatorade? This year?
This week.
Really?
Yeah, at the gym.
So that's where you let yourself go?
What are you talking about? Gatorade Zero, no carbs. What?
They ain't dumping Gatorade Zero.
How do you know? They specifically say it's the one. Here's the thing: when you're on the field, you need the sugar. You need the sugar. So it's probably regular Gatorade, but it doesn't matter. The Zero and the regular Gatorade come in all the same flavors. It just shows that you're not a Gatorade guy. You're not. Arctic Ice is my favorite. What's yours?
Honestly, they're all. You got the red is kind of the bar. Glacier Freeze is always a treat. You can get the blue, which is also pretty good. I'm not mad at a grape. I actually think the red Gatorade Zero is pretty tasty, personally, if I'm ever going to watch what I'm eating. But
so
you know
I'll tell you what. I had a family member.
I had a good January.
Back in the day.
No congrats from you.
No.
None. No, couldn't. Yeah, all right.
Well, used to drink. Well, this is similar. Hawaiian punch with Chinese food. The chicken and broccoli.
You know what? I'm not mad at that.
Not a good mix.
Why?
Hurt the stomach.
Nah, that's someone who's built to last. I like, who's that? Who is this? Is it a friend of yours? You
Cousin.
said? Cousin?
Yeah.
Got moxie.
You think so?
Yeah.
I'll introduce you in the offseason.
Bigger guy?
No.
Really?
No.
Really?
Actor.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Is he a little weird?
Well, we're all weird in our family.
but you like, is he a little, like, when he comes around, you're like,
No.
You're excited to see him?
Yeah.
He's not watching.
No, he's not watching now.
Interesting.
I think he's in Miami now, filming.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And he's still ripping Hawaiian punch in Chinese?
Yeah. I don't like the red. I don't like the red Gatorade.
I'd like to get this guy on if we could. I'd like to get this guy on. I got questions. Be right back.
Saturday, February 7th, Conor McGregor will be in the building for Knuckle Mania 6. In the main event, heavyweights collide as champ Ben Rothwell defends against Andrei Volsky. In the co-main event, we find out who's the #1 pound-for-pound bare-knuckle fighter in the world. It's Lorenzo the Juggernaut Hunt versus Dave Redneck Mundell. Plus, a heated rematch ignites as Tony Loco Soto runs it back with Ben the Bomber Bond. And the women bring pure intensity as Jade Massam Wong faces Crystal the Rugged Beauty Pittman. For how to watch live, go to bkfc.com for more info.
How about selling it to a minority ownership group that could show the NFL is moving in the right direction? Hey, it's one thing to talk about black coaches in the National Football League. It's one thing to talk about black general managers. It's another thing to start talking about a minority owner owning the football team.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio. Only on SportsGrid.
Gosh, I really do like the storylines with these open field events. Like, I want us to expand these signature events to bigger fields because I really do like the Joel Damon story, the Andrew Putnam story. It's part of the PGA Tour and what makes it so good. So I don't know where they're going to eventually end up on all of this.
The Smiley Show. Only on SportsGrid.
They cheated.
No, they're not saying that. Well, they're not, but they're not really giving a reason on crap.
The only two of the voters I've seen, maybe it's more, came out and said why they didn't vote for him. And they said, I'm limited to 3 votes.
Yeah.
And I will always pick a player over a coach or an owner.
Right.
By the way, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because that's the guy saying, I'm not afraid of you knowing who I picked. I'm going to tell you why I picked him.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on Sports